It's me. It's me. It's amazing. Now what? Well, I forgot what to do. Goodbye, everybody. No, I'm cheating. It's Good Friday. Let's just switch over to the computer now. Music's pretty loud today. Look at this. Great. I keep thinking my audio and stuff is on. Whatever. Oh, I forgot to freaking announce a couple of places. Every time I forget something. All the time. All the time. Every time. I always forget one place. 2 places. Something, you know. Alright, let's talk. Because I can't do that. I mean, I would have done that if I... See, okay. Sure I can see you guys. There we go. All set.
We'll be going to Lenegis soon.
This must feel like a homecoming of sorts to you, huh? What was life on Lenegis like back then? You know, before you came to Dana.
Let's just say, I don't have
Always
many
forget
happy
something.
memories. I've had thorns my whole life, for as long as I can remember. They called it treatment, but in truth, they were just using me as a guinea pig for their research.
You mean, they experimented on you?
That's right.
Now
All
they
I
have
was
something
to
in
them was a
common.
riddle to solve. They poked and prodded me, trying to figure out what triggered my thorns or changed the form they took. Day in and day out, every single day, one test after another. I'm still surprised they didn't try to dissect me. The look they gave me whenever one of them touched my skin. How could I forget it?
Boom.
Reeling from the pain, like I was a monster or
Twitch,
something.
you're so weird.
Some
You jumped up to
existence, huh?
6. You
A
had
blight
started
on
me with
any I
like 3, and then you
touched.
jumped up to 6
Helplessly
for a bit.
complicit
And
in
then when
their
I was
pain.
fumbling around making
thought
sure I
things
sent the
couldn't get
link
any worse.
everywhere, you
But
dropped
then they
it down to
I
2.
started to have nightmares.
I need to
visions
find
of the
something
coming
that just shows
apocalypse.
which people are lurking. Maybe.
Is it any wonder I lacked a cheery
No love for the
disposition?
lurkers.
Unable to so much as touch another soul. Loneliness was my best friend. Sure,
I
I
have love
survived,
for the
but with the knowledge that one day I'd be swallowed up by oblivion. And that's when it hit me.
Whatever's on the
If I
screen.
was going to die, then it should mean something. If I have to sacrifice myself to save the world, so be it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make
I
you
would
do
have
that.
dropped it down to 1. No
it's
love for the
fine.
lurkers.
I'm
on
in a
Twitch.
much better place now.
You say it's your destiny
I
to
still
die
love
so
you
that others
guys.
can live. But why not the
Sorry,
other way
Twitch
around?
doesn't see you.
Why shouldn't we be the ones dying to save you?
Are you crazy? Why would you sacrifice your life for...
That's exactly my point. Why should you have to give up your life just because you drew the short straw in the destiny stakes? How is that even
I
right?
was missed a bunch of important.
It's that logic that's used to
Strange.
justify slavery. As if
Where's
some
the
of us
lurker
were meant to
love?
be sacrificed.
That bothers
This
me
struggle
more
was
than
never
anything.
about saving only ourselves.
Maybe
That
that's
doesn't
what I
mean
meant
we have to
by
give up our
stuff.
own lives to save everyone else's either. If we're doing this to protect people, if we're doing this to save the world from destruction,
Game of fun. I might
then
have
that
to
has
spice
to
it up a
include
bit.
saving each other as well.
A world free of sacrifice. That's what you've been fighting for all along, isn't it?
Not just me. We're in this together, remember? This fight is yours too, Shion. If we're going to win, everyone has to win. There can be no room for losers in this fight. Now I see it. The true nature of our struggle.
A victory without losers. But that means that a Danon victory over Rena can't be the end. Do you think we can pull it off?
You bet we can pull it off. We have to. It's the only hope we have of things ever changing.
Yeah, you're right. No one's ever changed the future without aiming for the stars. We can do this. Together.
Freaking look at this. There's people there. What's their bots? I don't know. Twitch does not see you. Why is it having weird connection issues today? It keeps going like yellow, green, orange. Boom. Boom. Nah. Yep, still there. I don't think my internet was that bad today.
Is something wrong?
I just updated like the.
I was merely thinking how it
things
had
I
been
know
7
so
years,
maybe
that's
why.
all.
You mean since you became a lord and left Lenegis? I guess even someone like you can get homesick, huh?
I am as prone to sentimentality as any other. Tell me though, you too have a history with Lenegis. A traumatic one, no less. This trip will probably mean facing up to some difficult emotions. Doesn't that frighten you?
Well, it is a place where I took the lives of countless people. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. But I can't keep running forever. The past
hear
is
my
what it is.
computer in the
There's no
background.
changing that.
Had to
But the
push over
future's
onto
what we
different,
make it.
you know,
I see.
Because
Dohali,
needed to breathe.
Forgive me. I was wrong to
But
pry.
it's better than what it used
have more
to be.
pressing
in my
matters to
old
address.
stuff when Mike was ready to
Come
pump
back
it.
and speak to me when you finish looking around the ship.
Oh, I gotta talk to him again after we're done looking around. On Renwell over there. Sarah's up the front. Yeah, talk to them together. Another look around. Oh. Sarah over there. Oh. Well, look at that. Let's take a look around the ship. Swear to pilot it. Where the fuck? Wait. Oh, there's no chair. That sucks. Alright, let's talk to these two. Ow, man.
Hey,
Cooler,
Alvin,
bro.
listen to this. So Law and I were just talking, and
Hey, shut up!
what's got Law all flustered?
only that he's afraid of flying, the big baby. And after all that fuss he made about naming the ship, too.
Hey, I never said I was scared. I just think it's, you know,
It's a long
little
fall.
unsettling how we're going to be cruising through space in a glorified tin can. That's all.
It's a starship, dummy. That's what it's supposed to do. I don't think there's anything strange about it.
Well, maybe you're the
He
one
prefers
with the
the
problem
blue.
then.
Guys,
What?
I'm no expert, but I think we can trust Renin technology. It got me to Dana in one piece, remember?
Oh, that's a good point. If you think so, Alvin, it must be okay. Don't you agree, Law?
Hard to argue with that, seeing how you hitched a ride in one of these things before, Alphen. It's just wrong, okay?
That's how he thinks it. Look at cryo tubes. Wonder if she's having a better time
You
up here
okay?
than the
Feeling airsick?
Actually, now that you mention it, not at all. These starships are a remarkably smooth ride, all things considered. Nothing like being at sea, thank goodness.
Glad to hear it. That device there caught your eye, huh?
I was just wondering what it is. It looks big enough to fit a person inside of it.
It's a healing pod. It fixes injuries and illnesses.
Oh, you don't say. Well, that should definitely come in handy if any of us get injured while we're down there. Alphen? Was it something I said?
No, I
Damn
was
it.
just thinking back to when I escaped Lenegis, that's all.
Fuck.
What with the ceremony and losing control, I was a total mess. Naori laid me inside here.
So, you're saying you got in this thing straight after escaping? Would that mean you were inside for 300 years?
Yes, it sounds crazy, I know. But don't even ask me why I stayed asleep all that time.
That's definitely quite some lie-in, all right. But still, whether you meant to or not, I sure am glad that it's this century that you finally woke up in.
What do you mean?
With the amount of fighting we've done, we would have never made it this far without you. And not only that, but... Alphen, can you recall back to what it is that I said to you? Back when we left Menancia? About the dream of coexistence, and needing to learn what it entailed?
Of course. That's why you came with us, right? To learn what you couldn't at home.
Even in that time, I was well aware that what I was living was a lie. But at the same time, I also felt really compelled to fulfill my brother's wishes. I'll always remember him fondly. But the coexistence we're fighting for isn't for him. It's for people now, and those still to come. The world's bigger than just Menancia. My dream is for all
Should pay attention
Danes,
to this one
wherever
instead
they
of
might be,
Twitch
to be
stream, the
free.
lurkers.
If I've learned anything on this journey, it's that. And the one who brought me along was you, Alphen. I'll forever be grateful to you.
Well, we're not out of this forest just yet. You should probably save your thanks. At least, until we've dealt with the Red Woman.
I know. But whatever we find when we get down there, I'm through looking the other way.
Kisara.
Probably getting a little ahead of myself, huh? Let's take things one step at a time.
Go attack the doorway in the end.
Is everyone about ready? We'll soon be making preparations to land.
Before we do that, just what exactly should we expect when we get down there?
Bolts and
Kisara
hose.
has a point. Now that I think of it, I don't know the first thing about Lenegis.
I'd like to hear more too. It's been centuries since I was last there. They didn't exactly give me the grand tour.
Very well. First and foremost, Lenegis was the base of operations in charge of the crown contest on Dana. Of course, it also happens to be a city in its own right, complete with its own independent society. Its social structure is based on a strict hierarchy. Put simply, the strength of an individual's astral arts carries great weight.
Enough to determine someone's social rank, you mean? But astral arts are innate, right? So people's positions are fixed at birth.
Like a
They can
caste
be honed
system.
with the right training, and there are admittedly other factors at play. But yes, that's basically the gist. As a result, family lines that churn out lords and their contenders wield disproportionate influence, and those lineages are treated as nobility.
Those capable of only weak astral arts are effectively an underclass, denied the right to descend to Dana even if they wanted to. Still, even the lowest rung on the Renin ladder is considered superior to being a Danon. Keep that in mind down there.
Thanks for the warning. As a lord, Dohalim must have been pretty high up in the pecking order, right? What about you, Shion?
Come on, you've seen her skill with astral arts. You really need to ask?
Fair point.
On arts alone, you're right. I'd have been sitting pretty. But you're forgetting my thorns. They weren't exactly an invitation to high society.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's refreshing to be around someone who says what they're thinking. Life's less complicated that way.
Jeez, give backhanded compliments
Yes.
much?
Wait a second.
I was there with
Are
Daniel.
you? He is! Lost blushing!
I am not!
Of course, separating people into castes based on something arbitrary like arts is discrimination at its worst. As if such simplistic criteria could ever be a measure of someone's worth.
Yes.
So this Red Woman, are we expecting to find her on Lenegis?
I would wager so. Lenegis is too deeply involved in
Let's
all
paint
this to
the Red
discard the
Woman
possibility.
black.
Chances are she's also connected to the Renis Alma being stolen from us in Pelegion.
If the Renis Alma is being used to exploit Dana, we need to take it back at all costs.
That red woman's got a lot to answer for. Just as well I've got a ton of questions.
We're about to land. The descent could be a little bumpy, so brace yourselves.
If there are clues about your thorns out there, Shion, we'll find them.
Excuse me.
there's no one here. I wasn't expecting a welcome mat, but still.
Lenegis's infrastructure is largely automated. Besides, people won't be expecting incoming traffic while the crown contest is still underway.
Do you think anyone realizes that we're here?
We may not have received a royal welcome, but I doubt our entrance went unnoticed. Don't let your guard down.
I really hope we don't have to fight anybody while we're here.
Right?
So now what? We've come all this way on a hunch that this red woman is here, right? And if we're lucky, the Renis Alma too. Any idea where we should start looking?
There is an area of the city that is accessible only to the Sovereigns, known as the Forbidden Zone. That seems as good a place as any for us to start.
Yeah, the Forbidden Zone. It sounds like the great place to go.
What are they hiding?
Going.
I don't know. Hence
They don't
my
want us
desire
there,
to
so we're
find
going
out.
there.
Fortunately, we just so happen to have a Sovereign in our midst. In any case, changing the shape of a huge structure such as Lenegis would have required an immense source of power.
Then you think that source might have been the Renis Alma?
Precisely. Alphen said that he remembered the Renis Alma being used in the spirit channeling ceremony 3 centuries ago. Whatever the ceremony's purpose, if preparations are underway for it to be held once more, then the Renis Alma might be in the same place as last time, possibly together with the Red Woman. Hiding something of that worth in the residential quarters would only court trouble. In which case...
It stands to reason we should be looking somewhere normally out of bounds. Is that it?
Why is it fucking gonna keep fluctuating my
Indeed.
freaking thing? Is it affecting?
But it's been over 300
Just
years
strange.
since I was made a sovereign. You can't seriously think I'll be able to waltz right into the place after all this time.
There's only one way to find out. If there's even a chance you can get us in, I say we give it a shot.
Yes.
Shion's right. Who knows? We might even find a clue to her thorns while we're at it.
All right. It's not like we're swimming in leads, so let's try to track down the Forbidden Zone.
Yeah, the Forbidden Zone.
Beyond.
Alright, now we gotta see how it fucking organized it. Good. 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 Could have kept it that way. I don't know, seems alright. I scare you away, did I? No, it's not. I'm gonna do
On that wall
this.
lies a city full of Renans.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I missed that one. I'll never
Thinking
get
about
it
what
again.
could be lurking out here is giving me the heebie-jeebies.
What I complained about
For
the
such
other
a
day
loudmouth,
that I should've
you
clicked.
sure can be a worry word at times.
Oh, I'm sorry. How stupid of me for
Lot
wanting
of
us to stay
dialogue right
safe.
now.
Would you two
We're
children
in a
stop
new area.
squabbling? Or do you want everyone to know we're here?
That one with the...
So how many Renans actually
Legion
live in this
something.
place?
I couldn't
Sort of
tell
an
you
alley,
exactly, though not as many as you might expect. Machines and Zeugles take care of most of the city's basic functions.
There's Zeugles out here too, huh? Sounds like we can't afford to let our guard down after all.
Should we use those? What is this? Oh, that's how you can go back. Huh? Whoa. What if they don't give a shit that we're here? Now, that's something that's occurred to me. What if they don't give a flying fuck that we're here? This place looks fucked.
What in the world?
This being Renan territory, I was prepared for a lot of things to look different. But this is a
Yeah,
bit
it's
more than
destroyed.
I anticipated.
The very foundations of the city have shifted. What could have caused this?
When Lenegis changed shape, it must have had an effect on the interior, too.
Maybe when they sent the wedge down to Dana?
But they wouldn't move around the places where people live. These are their homes, right?
I would think the citizens themselves didn't
That's why
have much
nobody gives
say
a
in the
shit.
matter. Either way, locating the Forbidden Zone just became that much trickier.
Dohalim? Is that you?
All right. He knows people.
Avakir, I'm glad to see you're well.
So it is you! But why are you here? Shouldn't you be down on Dana participating in the crown contest? And these people!
So you haven't heard what happened on Dana, then?
Heard what?
Someone
No
you
one
know?
knows.
An old friend.
No one knows. It's been about a
Dohalim,
month.
don't tell me you've started keeping company with...
They're with me. More importantly, what's happened here?
I'm really not sure. The city's foundations began to shift without warning, and now everything looks like this. We're all waiting for the Sovereign to tell us what's happening, but so far...
Avakir, listen to me. We're looking for the Forbidden Zone. Do you have any idea where we might find it?
The Forbidden Zone? What business could you possibly have there?
Trust me. The less you know, the better.
You're just the same as ever. I wish I could help, but what with the changed topography, I can barely locate my own home. Let alone the Forbidden Zone.
Very well. It looks like we'll have to find the way there ourselves.
Have you seen Faria yet?
No.
Because that was his. I think that was his friend that
I
was
see.
crying in the
Well,
flashback.
nothing much has changed with her. If anything, she's probably even more...
I can well imagine.
Why did you come back? You know it can only result in pain for you both.
I've no doubt of that.
You really are
I wonder
the
if
same
I've got
as
that
ever.
quest for Gordino if he found
Fine,
his way out.
I understand.
Yes.
Just don't say I didn't warn you. And take care of yourself. Okay, Doe?
I can jump back to the other planet. Dan and freaking live stream.
So who's Faria?
Law?
If what Avakir said is true, it would seem the people of Lenegis are being kept in the dark about what's happening down on Dana.
They seem to be just as clueless about what's going on up here in their own world. Despite the fact that it's actually here that the wedge originally came from.
We need more information. Let's talk to the citizens, see what we can find out.
Yes, you're
While we're
talking.
at it, we could ask the Red Woman too.
And don't forget about finding the way to the Forbidden Zone either.
Let's leave the talking to Shion. We can't have a bunch of Danins poking their noses around.
Good idea. I think that's for the best.
I shall assist.
You sure?
Yeah.
Being a lord on Lenegis has its advantages.
Right. Then we'll leave it to you two.
Just for the little
Danins among us should
accuracy, I will do this for now.
Will we keep our heads down?
What if people freak out?
I shall explain it away.
This
by
way it
saying I'm
seems
leading you.
lore
What are
accurate.
we, dogs?
This is the lore accurate version. Look, it's done for the residential quarter is falling apart. Sure, I don't forget that. Either her or Dolan. Lore accurate, I haven't heard. Everything all topsy-turvy in the residential quarter. Lots of injuries. Stuff keeps dropping on people. Also falling down. Yes. Or do that and want to get this.
What could be so
You
important?
get an achievement if you
it's
unlock
worth
all of them.
destroying people's
missed one, I'm
livelihoods and
pissed off.
homes in the process. It's just unbelievable. Uprooting an entire city as if it were mere building blocks. Someone's got an awful lot of questions to answer.
From how it looks, they must be siphoning off astral energy from Dana and then sending
So I
it to
know
Rena.
A bunch of them is now.
But why do all this?
Not one I
What
know of,
for?
that's for sure.
Surely they can't be using all that energy for the crown contest.
Whatever their purpose, disrupting their siphoning process alone won't be sufficient. Not while we still don't know what their endgame is.
He's right. We need to stop this from happening ever again.
This Forbidden Zone might be where we find some answers, right? So what are we waiting for? Let's get moving!
You heard him. We don't have time to stop and chat. Let's move.
Oh, fuck, I got another one.
Oh, dear me. What an unspeakable
So
mess this
Shion
has all
off on the
become.
front, even though
Just
Dorley needs to
look
be
at the
alone
state
talking.
of our city. Even the Zugals have stopped heeding our commands. Whatever did we do to deserve this?
You really have no clue what might have caused this?
Would that I have. Alas, there was no warning, no prior decree. His Highness must have deemed it unnecessary for us to
Excuse
know.
me.
We have no choice but to grin and bear it. But do my eyes deceive me? Could I really be standing in the presence of his lordship, Dohalim of the House Ilkaris? I believed he was on Dana.
Your eyes do not deceive you. It is I, one and the same. I have returned to fulfill a special duty, the details of which I cannot divulge.
As your lordship wishes. First Lenegis mutates beyond recognition, now this unexpected visit. The Sovereign's plans are inscrutable indeed. The
I swear
Ilkaris
Edgeworth is
house
still
has
alive.
produced a great many lords
Yeah,
over
hold
the
on, his
centuries.
name's Edgeworth.
I shall be praying for your victory in the latest crown contest.
Your good wishes do me an honor.
Where am I? I just went out for a walk, but now I don't know where I am. I don't know, everything's falling apart and looks completely different. I can't get a hold of mother and father either.
There's nothing to fear, kids. I'm sure there's a reason for everything that's going on.
Even the Zugos are running loose. This seems dangerous.
Zugos are nothing more than our servants. They may have gone on, but I assure you, I have been back in the great rule before long. If you kids consider yourselves to be proud runners and be brave, I'll have the situation fixed before you know it.
I was curious about that one. And then, look, everyone's... Oh, look, look. Talk to this guy.
Your lordship.
Ah, that's better.
Oh,
That's
what a
better.
great honor it is to finally meet you. I descended to Dana during the last crown contest also. Alas, when the contender I was backing failed to clinch the title, I returned. I witnessed the deaths of so many slaves.
Indeed.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're looking for a woman dressed all in red. Have you seen anyone of that description?
All red, eh? No, I can't say I remember anyone like that. I imagine she'd stand out somewhat, too.
Eye hurts.
Yeah. What about down on Dana during the crown contest? You didn't see anyone like that hanging around the lord you were serving?
What's with all these questions? I've never seen her, okay? Not recently or otherwise. Why do you want to find her anyway?
Never mind. Forget I asked. Sorry to take up your time.
Forbidden Zone. Okay, about the Forbidden Zone. Do this.
So, I've been wondering, do you think when Lenegis was built, it was even made with people living here in mind?
What do you mean?
Well, none of this happened by coincidence, right? They must have designed it to transform like this. But then, if they knew people were going to live here, you'd think they would have taken that into consideration to avoid all this chaos.
Ordinarily, yes. You'd think so. Trust me, as far as we were concerned, Lenegis was our home, nothing more. No one knew about all this. It makes you wonder whether the city was just built on as an afterthought. But if so, to what exactly?
Sorry. That probably sounded weird, huh?
Not at all. Sometimes it takes an outsider's eye to help you notice what you've been missing all along. This place is a mystery, that's for sure. Something tells me we'll find answers where we're going, though.
Yeah, you're right, Shion. I'm sure we will.
What the hell is this? Oh, we missed this. I walked right in front of this person, too. All my years, I've never seen such potent healing arts. Thank you so much for taking the time to help an old woman like me. Ooh, fancy parfait.
Everything will be okay now.
I know the basics of healing arts, but my skills pale in comparison.
Actually, I might keep Shion as the main one for when we're traveling around Lenegis. Like Yelfin was the main one for traveling around Dana.
Is everything okay? You look a little
Cece is
lost.
a hero in Dana. Well, I mean, she's a stranger here, but
I can't seem to
did
find my
her
way
or
home is all.
Doling
I was
much?
just about to make my umpteenth attempt at a
one.
new route.
I was
Keep it
hoping
as
to
a
head this
character
way
for
myself.
longer.
The situation is a real pain, huh?
I suppose the Sovereign knows best. I daren't stay here too long, though. A lower caste can only linger around these parts for so long before I outstay my welcome. I was hoping to avoid it, but maybe I'll have to go that way after all.
You mean you know another way round?
Lord Dohalim Ilkaris! But how? Last I heard, you were in Dana competing in the crown contest.
Yes, strange, isn't it? If you know another route, we'd be grateful if you could tell us.
But of course. Please forgive me. There's a wall that sprung up ahead of here, with what looks to be an entrance in it.
Ah.
I thought maybe it was a passageway between the different quarters, but I've no way of knowing for sure.
It's worth investigating, at least. I shall go and assess the situation. In the meantime, wait for me here. If it looks safe, I'll come and let you know.
You'd really do that for me? A lord troubling himself for someone of my lowly status?
Yeah.
Our lot in life is of little consequence. We are both Renan, first and foremost.
Oh, why yes, my lord. Thank you.
Well, we've canvassed the city for information. What do you think?
No
Jeez.
one has the faintest idea what's happened to the city after all. They haven't heard the news about the crown contest either.
You'd think that info would easily find its way up here. Has it always been like that?
Not to this extent, which would indicate that something's suppressing the truth, that Lenegis is under some kind of control.
Given everything that's happened to their city, the people here seem weirdly okay with it all.
Yeah, that one guy even said his Zoogle had stopped listening to him. If that's true, these people are in big trouble.
Everything that happens here is attributed to the Sovereign's will. It's the way people have been conditioned. Their belief runs deep. Nothing happens devoid of a reason. To them, it's all part of the Sovereign's grand plan.
The Sovereign's plan. There is one thing I'm still not sure about. Just who is this person ruling over Lenegis?
The Sovereign, of course. He rules from Rena while presiding over both Rena and Lenegis.
Without the lords or anyone in the middle doing his dirty work? Isn't Rena at least the same size as Dana? That's a pretty big dominion for one person to rule over. I would have thought ruling Lenegis alone would be difficult enough.
The points you make are valid, though I confess I'd never given it much thought before. Here, the Sovereign's total authority is as natural as night turning to day. Come to think of it, I know nothing of the nature of how Rena itself is. Shion, have you ever been... No, forgive me. Have you met or crossed paths with, or even heard of someone who's actually made a visit to the homeland?
No, I haven't.
Neither have I. In which case, I would imagine that... But no, surely not. Can it really be that no citizen of Lenegis has ever been there?
Hold up, what are you getting at, Dohalim?
Assuming what I believe
yeah.
to be correct, it's possible that no one on Lenegis has ever laid eyes on the actual Renan homeworld itself.
Damn.
No one but the Sovereign, that is.
But what about trade and communication? There's got to be a flow back and forth, surely.
No one's
Not
been
if
to
the Sovereign
homeworld.
is imposing his will on Lenegis single-handedly. It could be a one-way street.
But I thought you said that the Sovereign's all the way over on Rena. If that's the case, can he really rule directly over Lenegis from so far away?
Lenegis is
What
the
if something
south.
were to happen to the city, like now?
I'm beginning to wonder what the nature of this Sovereign even is. Alphen said he was forced into the role, right? Just before the ceremony. But Sovereign is also the title given to the almighty Renan ruler. So which one is it?
Whoever wins the crown contest inherits the throne from his or her predecessor, before becoming ruler over all of Rena and Lenegis. Thereafter, that individual is known as the Sovereign. Though, it would appear that the current ruler has gone silent.
Yes.
As for how Volron factors into all this, at this point, I no longer know what to believe.
3 centuries ago, I became the Sovereign here on Lenegis. No, not just became, I was forced to. Me, a Danon. 300 years later, we cross paths with Volron, who also bears the Sovereign's crest. That's not the only thing we have in common. We both became Sovereign without winning the crown contest.
Do you think Volron was made sovereign for the same reason? Because of that ceremony?
Probably.
I can't say for sure, but it certainly sounds like it.
But that would mean that 2 sovereigns would need to exist at any one time. One whose job it is to rule, and the other for ceremonial purposes. We never did see Volron's body back in Ganeth Haros. Is a new ceremony underway with Volron at its center this time? Could that be what's causing all this strange activity here?
Wait a second. You don't think Volron and the Red Woman are working together, do you? The ceremony can't go forward without the Renis Alma. The same one that the Red Woman stole.
There's something else the ceremony needs. A maiden. And unless there's another one out there aside from me...
Questions, questions, and yet more questions. Ones that it seems will remain unanswered, until we can establish the Sovereign's identity.
If the Forbidden Zone really is off limits to everyone but the Sovereign, that seems as good a place as any to start. For the sake of liberating Dana, too.
Then it's decided. That's where we need to go.
One of the citizens mentioned a passage that she thought might lead to another section of the city. It could point us in the right direction. Let's go find it.
Let's do it. Oh. Didn't push the control.
With nobody left to run the show, I wonder what the people here are supposed to do. I mean, their sovereigns up on the Renan homeworld, and all their lords were sent to Dana.
But Dohalim was a lord, right?
Yes.
Only current acting lords have power. Renan society is quite strict about such matters.
Even if the other lords were still around, I doubt they'd be able to do much about the situation.
I wonder what they'd think if they were here to see Lenegis now. Balsif, Cannabelt, Almadria, and Volron. Now that I think of it, aside from Dohalim, we know next to nothing about the other lords.
Well, yeah, why would we? To us Danans, they were just enemies we needed to overthrow. Nothing more.
I know. But seeing Renans in their own city, going about their day-to-day lives, it gets you thinking.
It feels strange to imagine the lords living here too, you mean?
Yeah, a little.
If you're that curious about them, why not try inquiring with some of the locals? Every lord in their household has their share of supporters here on Lenegis. And luckily for us, the people here are unaware of the events on Dana, which means they should be more inclined to talk to us.
Yeah. We gotta go around and talk to people. We go back around. Alright, we're gonna do this quick. What is it? And then do the side quest. Do this. I gotta use the restroom.
I didn't realize Renans oppressed their own kind, too.
The restroom.
And yet, weirdly, none of them seem to mind. Am I the only one who finds that strange?
It is the way things have always been, so no one thinks to question it. You have experience in that regard yourself, do you not?
Unquestioning acceptance of your own servitude. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Even so, the quality of life here seems much higher than any Danon city we visited. I used to think it was impossible to build an ideal society without wealth. But I suppose having it doesn't always mean people are treated fairly either.
More to the point, not a single citizen seems to have even heard of the Red Woman.
What if she's not here? What if it turns out we're looking in the wrong place entirely?
It's still too early to say anything for sure.
For all we know, she might be able to blend in, move around unnoticed. I say we hold off judgment until we've exhausted every avenue.
I'm back. Just gotta get my headphones on. Completely missed that one. Look, we got another one. Let's talk to some people. Get these quests out of the way, because they help us with experience too. You know what, Lord, I support. You want to know what, Lords? But why? You can out canvassing for someone? With his excellently earlessly tales, you probably know him better as Lord Bolson. I know a lot of people consider him to be a giant brute. Believe me, I realize he can be an aggressive man. What those people don't realize is how much he looks after the members of his house. It's fair to say that House Tildeles doesn't enjoy much esteem. Those of us who serve it will be the first to admit that.
Yes!
But His Excellency always stands up against any who would mean us harm. Of that we can be sure. His efforts in the crown contest aren't only for his family, but to improve the standing of each and every member of his house.
Yes!
I owe so much to His Excellency. I could never dream of serving any other lord.
Balsef had it in him to care about someone other than himself? Really?
It's possible. A change in position can do much to alter one's perspective.
So even he might have had something he wanted to protect.
Oh, motherfucking sick. It's the exact same model. Isn't it? Yeah, it is. Look at that. The exact same. Is it the exact same woman? Oh, darling, you returned. Ah, and I see you've brought aids with you. Do you remember who I am, Lord? Surely you must, yes? Nope. Nope, it's just some... See, that's a twin, or they use the same model. That same one over there. Wait a minute. Not only do I support his house Okura's, but more specifically his lordship personally. So much so, I've been trying to share my appreciation of his lordship to any who will listen. In fact, I was planning to publish my extensive writings on the subject through this very terminal for all to read and enjoy. Since the lines appear to be cut due to the recent tumult, I've been unable to upload them. Anyway, since you're all here, I'll just read them aloud. There exists the most handsome man. I gotta laugh at this. Oh, you have the thing for him. It's funny. This is the most handsome man, a man who radiates beauty, whose every word, every syllable is divine poetry. He hails from the famed house of Curas, and his name is Lord Dolan. Music is his passion. The arts his great love. The scores of boorish, the uncouth men of this land cannot begin to compare to his magnificence. Look at that serious face he has. So refined and majestic in his posture of why the mere thought of it brings me to ecstasy. Once he becomes our sovereign, Rena shall bloom anew, ushering in an era of prosperity for our grand civilization. Until that glorious day comes, I shall forever be praying for his victory, morning, noon, and night. Yeah, so you don't say huff. Well, what do you think? My lord, I poured my whole heart into it, hoping to capture your essence. Wait, I forgot to mention anything about his lordship's love for collecting things. I must take this time while the lines are down to end it. Only then will my masterpiece be complete.
I guess she intended to spread it throughout all of Lenegis then.
Good thing the lines were down so she couldn't.
It almost sounded like she was praising them too.
Maybe there was more to the guy than at first glance.
I shall refrain from commenting.
Oh, strawberries, yes!
Tell me, Dohalim, has that skill of yours got a name?
And what skill would this be, pray tell?
I don't know if this is the one that's up before.
You know, when you're talking to people around town. The way they suddenly become putty in your hands.
I'm afraid I don't quite follow.
I do. It's called friendly intimidation.
Called charisma.
Look imposing and speak in a deep, booming voice, and presto, you'll have people wrapped around your finger in no time.
I think it's charisma.
I would never stoop to such scandalous tricks. Any feelings of intimidation are solely in the eye of the beholder.
So there is a knack to it. How do you learn it? Can anyone do it?
Now you've got me curious. Is there special training to master?
Up.
Let's see. An obsession with being elegant is a must. Oh, and it helps to be old-fashioned, too. Bonus points if you speak in a way no one can understand.
If you've a bone to pick with me, it'd be quicker to just come out and say it.
What? They look up to you, that's all. I'm just helping them along.
Hey! What's got into Alvin and Law all of a sudden?
I can barely understand a word they're saying. And what's with the weird poses? Was it something they ate?
I hope you're willing to take the blame for this one.
I wasn't expecting them to take me so seriously. I'll go and have a word with them.
Well, never. You think anyone would try to tear me away from House Valkyries?
What?
What do you want? Don't tell me you work for Lord Dolan or that dreadful Lord Major, do you? You don't? Well, don't scare me like that. To answer your question, I come from a family that has served the House Valkyries for generations. Indeed, I'm doing all I can to support Lord Ganabelt behind the scenes that he might emerge victorious. Never heard anything from Roram or Major. Many think him to be a cruel man, but I insist they're utterly mistaken. Though I won't deny he can be strict. But Rena's interests front and center like no one else. But he advocates that rather than stay confined to Lenegis, we should get on and with colonizing Dana and expand our horizons. That way, we will become masters of both worlds, and overturn our current minority status on Dana's surface. That is why he seeks to become our next sovereign. Tell me, is there a greater, more noble ambition than that? I think not. It is a pursuit of power and for the advancement of our kind. It is what makes him an exemplary lord, a model above all others. Though I was unable to accompany him myself, my two sons have been blessed with the honor of joining him on the surface. Their father, it fills me with endless pride.
Ganabelt was so horrible to people, yet he was invested in helping Rena succeed. Doesn't that seem just a little inconsistent?
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit. However, in my mind, while all lords vie to become the next sovereign, they're also meant to serve as guardians of all of Rena.
It seems like Ganabelt also had people he cared about until the very end.
So why couldn't he extend that to us Danans?
Nothing there? Alright. For some reason it feels like Xion runs faster than Alpha. She got heels on. That's an insult.
This area doesn't look as badly damaged as that other district we went through.
Indeed. The effects of Lenegis' transformation appear to be less pronounced here. Or, viewed another way, this area was simply luckier.
Alright, let's go back to that one chick, see if you can talk to her about it being fine. I don't know if it's a quest. Damn it. You know, I thought that'd be a part of the thing. Oh yeah, it's fine. Yeah, go through. It's fine. It's perfectly normal. This place is fine. Right, what shouts you got?
Pardon me.
This area falls under sole jurisdiction of House Caniris. I must ask you to depart at once. Surely you don't claim to be ignorant of our famed house, ruled over by the esteemed Lord Almadria. So, if so, I urge you to listen well. In fact, I bid you listen carefully regardless. Have you ever noticed how in the history of Lenegis, only a few women lords have emerged to compete in the crown contest? Many have theories as to why this might be, but Lord Almadria quashed the doubts of any naysayers through sheer might. In fact, not only did she usurp her father and previous family master, wow, she is horrible. This one's not, this one, like the other ones, is like, huh, maybe they weren't bad, but this one's just still proving she's hot and crazy. She also removed her older brother to claim the seat for herself. Man, she fucking crazy and crazy. Still a smash. Still smash. She's a woman who stops at nothing to get what she wants, who gives her enemies nary the slightest opening to strike. Truly, Lord Almadria is a woman of talent. No one on all Rena better exemplifies the virtues of our nation's mediocrity. Soon the age of glorious women sovereign reigning over Lenegis shall be upon us at last. Well, she seems...
I guess her willingness to stoop to any low came from a survival of the fittest worldview.
And some people here not only shared her belief, but championed it as morally right, too.
That doesn't make it true. Too bad they couldn't see through her.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, like Balsif, he was like the worst one. No, he was nice. Dolim has some look. People like Dolim. Let's see, who else was there? Fucking, Ganabelt. Yeah, he seemed to be alright, you know, just a piece of crap there. Madria, 100% psycho. 100% smash still. Ha! Let's see, this guy's definitely a Voron, dude.
Ridiculous.
How loathsome. Oh, I was just reading about Voron. Can I help you?
Okay.
As always an ardent supporter of Lord Urwajo, Hildress myself. Were it not for his sudden death down on the surface, I likely would still would be. In my eyes, Lord Urwagi is a true water lord. I don't believe for a second that he perished in some accident, like they say. As for how Voron runs Danatheros, don't get me started. I hear he enslaves not only Danans, but even his fellow Renans. So Madria and Voron were always hated. Well, the other ones were fine. We may live in a society where to the victor go the spoils, but his actions go against what we as a people stand for. Besides, just what sort of family line is this house Ignisiri of his anyways? I never heard of it until he came along, which means they must be among the lowest dregs of society. Such a noble lineage could suddenly produce an astral artist capable of ascending to lordship is unheard of. None of it makes any sense, not to mention all of the upheaval around here of late. What is happening to our people?
It seems like the people on Lenegis don't really know much about Volron either.
Can't move.
I remember being
Can't
quite
move.
surprised when the Lord
Can't
of
move, it's frozen, I can't move.
changed so abruptly.
Where's my mouse?
Didn't you have any doubts that
can't
something
move.
suspicious was going on?
On the contrary, remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
Can't move.
When you think about it,
Okay.
the families of Renan lords must see them
We'll freak
differently
out
than
after
the
this.
rest of us.
Yeah, despite the brutality they're known for.
They must have had a lot on their shoulders, carrying all the weight and responsibilities of Renan society.
Renans live in a world where strength and power determine their position in the social hierarchy, so they tend to grow up fiercely competitive. But their loyalty to their people is also strong. It's what brings them together against outside forces, and nothing exemplifies that more than the Lords.
That's what makes them the guardians of all of Rena, so to speak.
Right. It's the same reason Balsif hated my guts, and Ganabelt went after you. Because we're threats to Rena.
Guess that makes you an even bigger oddball than we thought.
So, Alphen, have you gained anything from all of this?
Cheese tacos.
I think it's made me realize that the Lords were all people, too. Balsif and the others, they all had their own circumstances to deal with as they went through life.
Yeah, but still, just because they had loved ones in their lives doesn't mean...
I know. What they did was horrible. I'm not trying to dispute that. But at the same time, they weren't incomprehensible monsters either. They were individuals, just like the rest of us. So I guess what I'm trying to say is...
You're saying that they weren't bad because they were Renans, or because they were terrible monsters. Even if they did terrible things, they were still just people.
Rinwell.
Am I wrong?
Not at all.
Being a Danon doesn't make you a good person. And being a Renan doesn't make you a bad one. I think that's something we've all seen.
Xion and Dohalim definitely make a good case for it.
And I'm going to keep doing my best to make sure I earn that trust. As a fellow human being above all else.
Alright, let me move. Let me move. Let me move. Ah! Yes! Move again, I'm free. I'm free! So long, suckers.
Sorry, authorized personnel only. The damage beyond here is too severe. You'll have to go around.
Alright, kid. It's my house. I don't know how to get home.
What could this
Great
be?
job. Tastes like purple.
There's something I just don't get.
What is it?
The crown contest itself has always gone ahead as planned, right? In which case, the current Sovereign of Rena should be whoever it was that won the previous contest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, who was it then?
Hanfricht Milgras, the former Lord of Cislodia, if memory serves.
So then this Hanfricht whatchamacallem, he's the current ruler of Rena?
The last I heard, yes. Though, admittedly, I haven't actually seen him since the end of the previous contest.
You're saying that ever since becoming Sovereign, he's never actually shown himself on Lenegis?
I guess over holocom maybe, but not in the flesh. Same thing goes for the Sovereign that came before him.
Now that you mention it, I don't recall anyone ever visiting Lenegis from the motherland, Sovereign or otherwise.
And that never struck you as a little bit odd?
When you live here, it's as if you're conditioned not to notice all these strange quirks and discrepancies. The question is then, by whom? And to what end?
A new Renis Alma is supposedly created to coincide with every crown contest, meaning each victor is awarded their very own. In other words, if that's true, there should be as many of the things out there as there have been contests.
True, but going on what we witnessed in Pelagian, it didn't look like the sort of thing that could be made to order. But if even the victor's speeches have been part of some grand deception, then where are they? Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what to believe anymore.
You and me both. Though we are Renan by blood, neither of us even knew that such a thing as a Dark Master Core existed, remember?
With any luck, the Forbidden Zone might give us some answers.
No use standing around here chatting about it then. Let's get a move on.
Oh, it's just an alternative. Alright, let's keep going.
Doe?
I haven't gotten back to fighting yet. Damn it, why does it keep going down?
Varia? Isn't that the person that Avakir guy was...
But why are you here? Wait,
Don't tell me you've given up on the crown contest and come crawling back home from Dana already. Nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your position as Lord, you still...
Kill?
I'm here to take care of something.
Oh yeah, nobody knows
If you
about
wish to
that. We
continue
only
this
know about it as a
conversation,
viewer
I only
to
ask
see
that
the,
you wait until I'm finished.
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. Even after 7 years and living on that Danon rock, you haven't changed one bit. But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone by the past 7 years that I haven't hated you.
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be it.
Dohalim, what the hell are you saying?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it. But you must wait. My sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to do. Then you have my word. I will let you do whatever brings you peace.
Sure, that's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to die. No wonder you leave it to someone else. You're just a coward!
Oh shit.
Dohalim.
I apologize that you had to witness
We
that.
haven't fought anything yet. This has been a very dialogue-driven episode. I see why.
Is it true? What she said about you killing someone?
Kill fit him in.
Each of us have our pasts. I am no exception.
Before, back in Menancia, you mentioned having taken a friend's life over the throne. Is that what she meant?
The mistakes I made there were not my first, and may not be my last. I will say no more.
Did you mean what you said? About letting her take your life if she wanted to?
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest, and to ensure continued coexistence in Menancia. I have no intention of expiring before I do so. There are far too many questions I still seek answers to. Besides, you have just as much reason to kill me as she does.
Dohalim!
Forgive me. Some things are best left unsaid.
What should do with one of these? I think I still have Alpha as the fire against that Zoogle. We're healing them. Sweet.
What could this be?
Tofu, 1 out of 2. Two things of tofu to find? Oh, maybe that's what we need. For the fucking meal thing. Oh. Ow.
beautiful!
Yeah, it must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
This place is like
think?
unaffected.
Man, these Renan sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter, Dohalim?
Before I went down to Dana, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together. Avakir, Faria, and Tarnagan. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnagan. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend. As well as Faria's betrothed.
That's why she hates him. She's in love with
Despite
him.
Faria's lower class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music.
Why does she keep going down
Entranced
in
by
the
her
fucking
playing,
internet
I helped
video?
her overcome her sense of inferiority
Stupid.
and introduced her to Tarnagan and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
A friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing. Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart. And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnagan and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord. Tarnagan had fallen for Faria. By becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society. But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Was it gonna go full
Tarnagan
depth
was
now?
no match for me in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance. But he was desperate and low on options.
Hey,
And
Mikey.
he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
How you doing?
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win,
Good
right?
to see you're not banned anymore.
But then why does Faria think... Wait. Don't tell me she doesn't know.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less, she would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating
Just
you,
you, bro, nobody special?
so she could use that hate
man.
as a crutch
Good
for
to
her
see ya.
grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty. Instead, I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Danans there would still be suffering under Renan oppression like before.
Shion's right. What other lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've saved so many people, Dohalim. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as
Sorry,
always.
I haven't gotten a lot of like action. It's been a lot of dialogue because this is a new area.
I shall do
I'm
my
learning
best to
about it.
heed your advice.
And everyone's like coming up with a past. Because that's how long the crew's known each other. At this point.
Do you think he'll be all right?
So.
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Shion. I promise he does.
I hope you're right.
Being watched.
Alpha,
Who the fuck's watching us?
Yeah?
I never appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
The fuck's
Goes
watching?
both
Where the
ways.
fuck are you?
You've helped me keep going more times than I
Fuck
can
are you?
count.
Maybe, but I still wanted to say thank you.
I see a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely offer their assistance.
Oh, nice. I guess we gotta go that way. That means we get into an area where we have to fight something. Probably Zulus.
What do you say we check back in on the ranch?
Yeah, let's fucking check on the ranch from another planet. Guys, you see me, or is that shop and blessed with Lord Dolan the servants? Is there anything gonna help you with my work? Maybe I should have had him as the main one instead of Shion. Whatever. Yes. Take everything. He's never respected joining his companions. What are we going to do? Potatoes.
What do you think? Hopefully you all like it.
Potatoes. She said she'd be the one talking. We should have had him. Oh look, we got. Hey, see, look, we got guys. Oh, I can always change it. Yeah, we're going with the characters we had longer.
Damn it. Lenegis soldiers.
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Salutations!
Well,
Oh,
so
fuck.
much for them not wanting to fight.
Yeah, I knew I should have.
I'm Lord Dohalim of Elda Menencia. I command
Earlier.
you.
Threat to the city must be erased.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not, if they want to fight, they got one.
Damn, this is tough. I should have gone in that last little area. Like I said, should have gotten the ship.
It's almost
Keep grinding. Alright, let's do this.
coming through! Ha! Now!
Oh!
Scarlet Inferno!
Will this help?
Ow! Yeah.
Burn in hell!
Get this guy. I don't know why he's
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble! The enemy wields arts too.
We'll soon see about that. This one's mine.
Oh, I'm at the hit.
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
I'll heal you all.
I don't know.
Take this!
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
Bam!
Glacial spear.
Finally got some action. No, no more dialogue. Only fighting.
Flaming Typhee, yours to be
This guy just. What the hell? What are you doing?
Astral energy. Full throttle.
those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
And the other soldiers we come across.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure. They just attacked without warning.
They weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's presence either.
Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies, nothing more. And yet, traditionally, Lenegis hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zeugles during experiments here and there, but not much else.
Their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met back in Ganath Haros. The ones in blind devotion to Volron.
I've never seen anything like that here on Lenegis before.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here, and the soldiers are their way of letting us know.
What with the Red Woman, the Sovereign, and Volron, we're starting to develop quite the growing list of adversaries. At least we'll know to keep our wits about us.
I gotta make sure I'm like level 45 because there's gonna be a boss I'm gonna get fucking smacked by at the end of all this, isn't there? Yeah! Look at that. Oh. Yeah, we're not gonna get it all the way though. Oh, look at my motherfucker. This one's gonna kick our ass. I'm not high level enough. I should have ground. I'm a dumbass. Look at me being stupid. Look at this. How do I get over there? How the fuck do I get over there? There's no way to get over there. Look at this shit. Oh, look, I went the wrong way. Stupid. Nope, so much for that. Alright, let's see how tough these guys are.
Looks like trouble with
Together, we got this!
Someone. Right there.
Take this! You're finished! Lunar Rondo! You're on! It's over! Take this!
Here's a healing arc.
Rising Weapon!
This one is mine.
Leave the ensnaring to me.
They're green, so when you do the snaring, it's greener.
This one's got your name on it.
Action to action!
Back into the
Be
fray.
on it, kid!
Magna Ray. Blaze set in a rampart.
You're mine!
Hurricane.
You're mine!
Look sharp.
Hey, listen.
In a bind?
Maybe. Alright.
Here's evil. Going in.
You're on!
Freeze.
Rising Weapon!
Hurricane strike.
You're on!
Excited. That'll bring you down.
Oh, you guys
Hurricane strike. Evil going in.
Sword! Lunar Rondo! Here I come! You're finished! Rising Weapon!
Going in.
Take this!
Eagle assault.
It's over!
Going in. This is it.
Take this!
Hurricane
You're on!
strike. Glacial spear.
Here I come! Rising Weapon!
Do it.
Strike!
Get toasty.
Bird strike!
One hit wonder achievement. Nice. Can't
Quite
see that.
necessary when creating weaponry.
This guy's gonna kick her ass. He's like level 45 or something. Gonna kick her ass. He's level 44.
Brace yourself! This one's tough!
These people are really kicking her ass.
Ignite!
As if the normal freaking crawlies aren't disgusting enough.
Smash you! You're on! You're finished!
Now you've gone and ticked me off. How about this?
Heal me.
Thanks! Enough done!
I'll stop its tongue.
Thanks, Kisara.
I'll take you all on. Ha! Flare the Malisa!
I just need Alpha unlocked.
Here I come! Rising
Didn't do
Weapon!
nothing.
I owe you one.
Where is this one?
Can't get out of this! Rising Weapon! I owe you one. Rising Weapon!
Nah, we already got a big
That'll bring you down.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Here's a hurricane.
This one's mine.
Hurricane strike.
You picked the wrong fight!
I'll put you through.
Eagle
Hurricane! Alternate sword! Rising Weapon!
Healing
You're on!
Appreciate the help.
Crush!
going in.
Rising Weapon!
How about this?
Oh, he charges the shit. Sorry.
Carve through one.
Oh, she's healed. She's on fire.
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare Demolition!
Here, let me help.
Take this! Swallow blade!
Look sharp! That'll bring you down!
Keep missing it.
I'll
3.
heal you all.
Far enough!
That worked? No.
Healing
I'll charge up again. I haven't charged up.
I'll crush you!
If I did, it's
Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! I'm on rising wiper! Take this!
I really don't know how that. I think it's combos.
Now I'm in
3,
trouble!
4. She was
Leave the charges to me!
Dragon form! Now I'm
I
really
think the third time he got it.
Far enough!
Eat this! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Never charge with that one. I don't want to one.
You're off!
Here's a healing arc.
Yeah, this dude take a lot. New experience. Oh, here we go.
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here, let me help. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
Yes.
Remember to tell me if you need healing.
I have room. Shion right there, but could do this all.
I expect you'll be in high demand if that's the case.
Oh shit.
Here's a healing arc. First aid dreams.
Rising wiper! Talon Hurricane!
You think that shield will save you?
That was right.
Here's a healing arc.
Rising wiper!
I never miss.
We're gonna go back. I did it solely for the experience.
Pierce evil.
Guardian Field! Come on! Rising wiper! Here I come!
It'd be like those guys who are before. Can't beat them now.
Here goes.
Ignite!
Here's a healing arc.
Rising wiper! Armor won't save you! Dark seal? I'm not done!
This again.
That's my cue.
Shut him down!
Go for it.
I think it is.
Here I go. One more. Going in. Everyone come on.
You're finished!
Kizara, go for it.
Prepare to crumble!
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
Let's keep sailing for now.
You're quite the gunslinger.
Sweet, Alvin's still leveled up. Shion, not yet.
I have to be, in this world.
Don't worry, I've got your back.
Okay. Quick take recipe. Okay. We're going back to heal up. Then we'll fight through a couple of these guys. Not this guy again. We'll skip this guy. No, we need that for grinding. Need the heal. Let's rest. Now we got it. Gotta fight these fuckers again. It's okay. I'm not gonna fight the big guy.
It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out.
Ignite!
Here's a healing
I'm not
arm.
done! No escape!
Come on, here, charge.
Here's a healing arm.
Now or never. Leave the ensnaring to me. Yeah, and the pummeling to me.
Rising Wyvern!
No, I got things like
It's over!
That's the same with lava, but
I'll take you all
I
on!
haven't seen the upgrade spells and stuff.
Ha! Flare the Molotov!
Here,
Take it! Rising Wyvern! This one's all mine!
Radiant Pierce.
Flaming meteor!
Yeah, I just got it.
The earth throbs in pain.
Oh, now he's charged up again immediately after.
It's over!
Radiant Pierce.
My turn! First strike!
I will.
Rising Wyvern! Mirage!
Eagle Star.
Stardust! You're mine!
Gemini Aqua.
Make it rain!
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
I need to be stronger.
Not around the big guy. Good for the stuff, but get the big guy first.
You can't get out of this!
Annihilation.
Ah, let's go.
Not on my watch. They don't give up, do they?
Now you learn! Mirage! Eat this!
On guard. It's weakened.
This ends now!
This one's mine. 20 left.
Ah,
I have no limits!
here we go.
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Will this help?
I'm on it! Rising Wyvern!
Things come to an end.
Big blast! Damn it! Too fast!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
I'll end you.
Take this!
Here goes.
Great, make it rain!
Astral energy. Full throttle. Need to pull myself together.
Take this!
We got what it was. I think it's time for command.
Take this!
Star Wars.
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
Lady Fortune must truly be watching over me.
Pineapple Jelly.
Those soldiers don't seem to have any qualms about attacking on sight.
Is
We're
someone
running
making...
past this one.
An opponent like
Because
this should be easy.
I don't know if facing this one ends it, but I'm not doing anything.
Now
At
we're
a
not.
higher level.
I think I'll pass on the handshake.
Dead end, correct way forward. Where the dead end brings us.
backing down!
Here goes!
You picked the rook.
Now or never.
It's like trying to keep up with a wall.
Eat dirt.
Healing circle. Only getting
Take this.
Here's a
Rising
healing arc.
wyvern.
You're done. Lightning.
This one's mine!
Doing this quick
In a bind?
Look sharp!
to get them all.
I'm on it! I'll run you through! Now you see what I can watch this!
Burn in hell.
Mega ray.
You're mine. I'm on your finish.
You're done! Blow away!
Let me help.
Here I come. Rising wyvern.
There's a lot of them. But this,
Eagle Fire! This one's mine! Now I'm in this
I'll
group!
heal you all.
Eagle
You're
Fire!
mine.
I'll do
Rising
it.
wyvern.
Astral energy. Full throttle. Laser primed and ready.
Rising
This
wyvern.
one's mine.
You're mine. This one's all mine. Dragon swarm.
Here, let me help.
Rising wyvern.
Look sharp.
Do it. Chill.
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
Will this help? Look
nice
sharp.
while it lasted.
You're mine. You're finished.
I'll heal you all.
Slash. Coming through. Ha! Now. Scarlet Inferno.
Here,
sometimes
let
they
me
don't
help.
know. Charges.
I owe you one. Do it. Chill.
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished. Rising wyvern.
Look sharp!
Eat this. You're mine.
Stop that.
I don't know where that one got.
I'm on it!
Really.
On guard!
You're mine.
Hurricane! Hurricane!
Take this. Do it. Chill.
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
There we go. See, how much did that get us for levels?
These bad guys really don't mess around.
Mystic, because you know, I could have gone the other way and got it. Look at all this crap I got right here. It's good shit. Let's fit these motherfuckers. You guys would just be just as hard.
It'll be a breeze. In a bind. Get in, get out.
Not in your dreams.
You picked the wrong
A
fight.
showdown between blade and fist.
Rising wyvern. Luna Rogo. You're on. It's over. Prepare to be seized. You're finished.
Oh, now I'm real mad.
Rising wyvern. You're mine.
The enemy will arc too.
We'll soon see about that. Where are you going?
I'll crush you! Ah! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Eat this!
Will this help?
Rising wyvern. Take this. You're finished. Try harder. You're mine. Rising wyvern.
Laser spear. Here's evil.
Take this. It's over.
Freeze laser.
Eat dirt.
Do it.
Take this.
Go for it.
Prepare to crumble!
Here, let me help.
Swallow blade. I owe you one.
Make it real. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
Now it's just the knights.
No, you can't. Start up.
Now you see what I can do!
Oh, he's charged. Good out.
You're mine.
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
Here's a healing arc.
Rising wyvern.
Glacial fire.
You're mine. You're on. Rising wyvern.
Freeze lancer.
Appreciate the
You're
help!
on. Dragon.
I feel sprightlier than before.
this should be it. This last big push.
An opponent like this should be easy. Take this one, eh?
Oh, I thought I fucking was on the other.
Be my guest. Swirl blade coming through. Ha! Mount. Scarlet Inferno.
I'll heal you all!
You're mine. You require a hand. Stardust. Luna Rondo. Release. I'm on it. It's over. You're mine. It's over. Any more will never burn out. You're finished. An astral art?
That's my cue!
Shut him down.
Okay, take him out.
Ready, shoot! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Here's a healing art! Fire support!
It's over. You're mine.
Here, let me help.
Here I come. Rising Wonder. Mirage.
Into the chest!
Take it. Mirage. That. Slash it. Rising Wyvern. It's over.
Going in.
Take this.
Armor won't save you! That'll bring you
I know I
down!
need that for the shield.
That frickin' does it!
Strike. This one's all mine.
I messed up.
Not today.
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Come with that, these guys.
You're mine.
Into the two!
Stardust. You're
Should have done it.
Take this.
Oh, I thought I was fine. I'm okay. Little camel box.
Rising Wyvern. Stardust.
I'll just go
Rondo. Mirage. You're finished. Stardust. Rising Wyvern. Mirage. New escape. Ignite. Nothing cares.
Now you see what I can do!
My steel.
You shouldn't have messed with me!
You're mine.
Do it! Kizara! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble! There's always room for improvement.
Hopefully unlock a fast travel thing. No? Okay, let's see what's over here to fuck me up. Oh. Should I have gone back to heal? I don't know.
This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was Sovereigns only.
Alphen.
Hopefully I didn't fuck myself. Need to grind more, get more, level up. Badass. Fuck is this thing? I'll fold it up. That's it. Oh, something that needs to be shredded.
Yes! It opened!
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
What?
What the?
It's magical. I realize it's magic. Ah, time for a flashback.
Alphen,
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden.
Yeah, she still
How
has
have you
a
been feeling?
different voice than she
What am I sovereign of?
still looks like her.
Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Danon. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for. Let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself.
Something's off with her
But
audio.
they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway.
I wonder if they're all seeing this, or is it just Alphen?
So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act
Yeah,
like
her
them.
audio sounds off.
Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people.
No, it doesn't sound off.
If we didn't see the humanity in each
Sounded
other.
like someone was off with their mic for a while.
So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
Was it supposed
You're not like the
was
others.
it supposed to sound like that?
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dana. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
What the hell just happened?
That vision. Did
Oh,
everyone
say, so
else see
everyone
it
did
too?
see it.
That person Alphen was speaking to, she looked exactly like Shion.
It was Naori. Naori Imaris. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past?
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Danon astral energy rushing over us.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dana's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegis. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Shion, you okay?
Yeah. It was all just a little sudden. That's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past. Do you think you can handle it?
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to answers about your thorns.
Alphen.
That's not all. This whole time, we've been fighting to free Dana from the Renans. But now that we're here, it seems those same Renans might have it just as bad. I'd like to liberate them too, if I can. Which is just another reason I can't afford to shield my eyes from the truth.
Whether you're on Dana or somewhere else, you always stay the same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect, they're all hardwired into you. Not that I'm complaining. Come on, let's bust this thing wide open.
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp.
There it is, right up there. I think this part.
After that lap.
This area?
It's illusion. There's no telling what could happen in here.
I'm gonna get fucked because I should have ground more. I'm going to save, and if not, I'll just do the grinding. A little bit. On stream. Not ready for a boss fight. If it's like those other big guys that are 44, then I think I'll be fine. If it's way higher than that, I'm fucked. Hopefully it doesn't bring in minions. Or am I gonna fight myself? This is the red woman, though. I figured if that fit.
How did you get in here?
Wait, something about her isn't right.
What's wrong with her? She doesn't even seem to know where she is.
Yeah, you're right. She looks just like the soldiers we encountered outside.
A summoning?
But that's preposterous. She never had that kind of power when...
We can talk later. Here it comes!
This weakness is up there. I'll make her let go before fight.
I've never known Thalia to control symbols like that before.
How about with a stone that looks suspiciously like a master sword?
Where did she get her hands on that?
First we handle the tubes, then we get some answers.
I'll bring you back from a weak point.
I let my guard down.
Shit.
Burning strike! Freeze
Not as
laser!
easy as the other.
I'll bring you back from death. I'll bring you back from death's abyss. Resuscitation! Here, let me help. First aid!
Rising Wyvern! Here I come!
I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
Glimmer Dragon!
Eagle of
from behind.
What's this?
You're on! Here I come!
Resuscitation!
Rising Wyvern!
Will this help?
Rising Wyvern! You're done!
This one's mine.
Little
Healing
fucking
circle!
other guy.
Prepare to take Shion. Can't get out of this!
Field!
You picked the wrong fight!
Armor won't save you!
Rising Wyvern!
Here, let me help.
Rising Wyvern!
Where are you going?
Otherwise, I'll
Too much! It's over! Start up! This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield says. Get behind me.
Good! I'll leave it to you! Try harder! It's on!
Piercing roar!
Not today! Rising Wyvern! Take this! It's over! Lunar Rongo!
Look sharp. On guard.
It's time! No further!
You're finished!
This one's mine.
You're mine!
Look sharp.
You're on!
Not what it is.
did get it. Oh, about the
Shot. Glacial spear.
Yes, got your name on him. Rising Wyvern. Ready to go.
Going in.
To be let free. Now you see what I can do. Hurricane
This one's got your name on it.
Action to action.
Here. This one's mine.
I've got it.
Here comes something big. Try harder.
Any more of this will burn out.
I let my guard down.
You'll pay for that.
Almost had it.
Go in. I let you all
Not too bad. I think I just needed it.
I owe you one.
Radiant pierce.
Rising the flame inside me. You're...
Why not? We'll use one. Let's see how we go.
Let's free.
Glacial spear. Here's evil.
You're finished. Rising Wyvern. Soda. There. Here I come.
I'll bring you back.
Soda. Here I come. You're finished. You're on. Crush.
Just use it on the bottom.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss. Glacial fire. I'll heal you all.
This isn't looking good.
Healing circle.
Coming through. Ha! Now. Scarlet Inferno. Eat this.
That's only shows sequences.
Nothing can't be happening.
You. Stay away from my...
Should have gotten more life bottles.
Friend. Try harder.
I let my guard down.
Rising Wyvern.
Not too bad. Probably get more one.
Here I come. Rising Wyvern. This one's all mine. You're mine. Try harder. You're mine. Burn. I'll smash you. Here I come. Here I come. You're on.
That was some stupid
Come on. You have to hold on. Back into the fray.
Rising Wyvern.
logs down. Tricky sauce, so she doesn't get hurt. Oh, she did. Damn, we almost had it.
No further.
Actually, I could do one. Is it heavy treat or is it the elixir? No, it was definitely the elixir.
I'm almost impressed.
High praise coming from you.
I said almost. Don't get carried away.
Rising Wyvern. Take this. Try harder.
Oh, Shion's going. Lemon gel, peach gel, pineapple. I wonder if this is gonna come
I can't lose.
up. This one I've grounded out. Nope, I meant to use this. Hey, Curtis.
I'm out of ammo. Back into the
Come on, use it. Okay, I'll revive everybody. I think we'll
I'll
get
bring you
it.
back from death's abyss.
Yeah, no, I used the
It's
whole
on.
Oh, get out of
Here's a healing art.
Rising Wyvern.
Hurricane Flood. I'll bring you back from
But,
death's abyss.
but I'm almost there.
Rising Wyvern.
It's not too bad for another
Not like this.
Stay away from my friends.
being a little too
Rising
low.
Wyvern. You're on.
I'll bring you
There
back
you
from death's abyss.
Slash. Here I come.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
Come on, attack me, not her.
If it's in the sky, it's mine.
Take this! It's over!
It's weakened.
This
Okay.
ends now! Rising Wyvern!
That move.
Or heal everyone up.
Here comes the big one!
Here, let me help.
Ah! Try harder!
Yeah,
Coming through!
should be fine with her.
Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Get him? No.
This one's all mine!
Damn it, we're so damn close.
Ignite! No further! Try
We'd be
harder!
so close but so far away. It's pissing me off.
Here I come! Rising
No
Wyvern!
weird feeling that we're gonna die.
Mirage!
We didn't have the
Rising Wyvern!
Stardust.
I wasn't planning on getting annihilated today.
If you're not in it, get back.
Should we use it on me? It's either that or. I think I can get it.
No, I'm good. I'm in.
You're finished!
Is that or yeah, I need
Mirage! Rising Wyvern!
fuck.
Anything in armor is all mine.
Stardust! Mirage!
Don't think this will work, but I need to throw everything in.
Stardust! Mirage!
Prepare to be sealed. Can't get out of this.
Not today!
Let's
Here
go.
I come! Stardust! Lunar Rongo!
Yes! Fuck yeah! Wait, so the most I so many items on this boss. That's not even like a file boss, but we fucking got him. We'll make sure we grind a bit before the next between streams after I'm done
Now
with
it's
this
just
one.
her. Faria, can you hear me? Faria!
She's preparing another summoning.
Oh, please don't tell me I have to fight another
The
one.
art
if
she's
they don't know
casting is
that.
way too powerful to control. At this rate, her body won't be able to take much more. Dohalim!
Forgive me.
Made
Man,
her
I
throw
thought
her
we
up.
were goners.
Everything okay?
Yes. She's only unconscious.
Not her. I meant you.
Shion, please. Can you treat her?
I can try, but I can't promise she'll be back to her real self when she wakes up. All I can do is heal her physically.
We're not even supposed to be in here. Maybe it'd be better if we moved her to somewhere a little safer. Don't you think?
In that case,
I'll take her off your hands.
You?
Avakir, what are you
Yo,
doing
someone
here?
was watching us a phone.
I was curious what you were up to, so I took the liberty of following you to find out. I overheard what you said about Tarnigan, about how he really died. I'm sorry, I had no idea.
And you believed me? What makes you so sure I wasn't lying?
I like to think I know you a little better than that, Dohalim. Give me some credit. I'll take Faria. Leave her with me. I know better than to ask what you're up to. But whatever it is, I hope it all works out.
Thank you.
He seems like a good friend.
He hasn't changed. He never was one to stand out. Instead, he was always hanging back, worrying about everyone else. As for Faria, it's always the closest to me who get hurt.
You don't seriously blame yourself for what happened to her, do you?
Somebody got to her, to strike back at me. Someone who knew me well enough to know that I'd hesitate to fight back. And the same goes for you as well. Neither you nor Faria would have lost loved ones, if it wasn't for me.
You're wrong. Kelzelik was the one who killed my brother, under orders from Almadria. As for Tarnigan, if it weren't for the crown contest, he'd still be alive. That and the whole damn hierarchy that makes it possible. But that's why we're fighting. To put an end to this whole messed up system that treats people as expendable.
Indeed. Ridding society of this blight is really the only way I know how to atone for my sins.
You can't atone, Dohalim. I know it hurts to hear, but those people are dead. No amount of soul-searching or trying to make amends is going to change that. Forgiveness, acceptance, those ships have sailed.
So I just forget the harm I caused?
No, the opposite, in fact. You remember. You never forget. You keep it in your heart always. And then you go on living. Not for those already passed, but for those still alive.
For those still alive.
Kisara's right. So long as we've still got breath in our bodies, we can make a difference in the lives of others. Lives being the operative word.
That's what living's all about. Being able to still make a difference. Punishing yourself for the past won't make the pain of your conscience go away.
Only fixing the problem in its stead. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. You have to live for tomorrow, Dohalim, not for yesterday. And not only that, you need to live for yourself, and for the change that you still can be.
I shall try.
Don't forget, we've still got a mystery to solve. The Forbidden Zone, remember?
Shion.
Huh?
Thank you. You have my deepest gratitude for what you did for Faria.
Glad to be of service.
I'm glad we could stop Faria without hurting her.
You all did much for her as well. I'm most grateful.
Oh, shucks. We're on the same team, right?
I feel like I haven't seen any other things. Have Elfin because it makes sense.
Let's move on.
Do you think Faria was really being controlled by someone?
Certainly seemed that way. The question is, who? The Red Woman?
The same person who's behind all of this, I'll bet. Whoever that is.
Brainwashed or otherwise, the feelings of resentment she holds towards me are real.
Someone used her because they knew we'd hold back. If that's not playing dirty, I don't know what is.
It does tell us one thing at least. Someone here in Lenegis is watching us. Someone who means us harm.
There's no question. That attack was meant for us alone.
By someone capable of getting inside a person and manipulating them like a weapon. We need to find
That red
whoever it
woman,
is,
remember?
fast.
Haven't pulled that out yet, but you do it. This is kind of cool, and I realized I should use that in the bathroom. Which way's the way forward? Alright, this way. This is first, I'm gonna use the restroom quick. Ow! I should have done that with the. Ah.
What is it, Rinwell? Do you hear something again?
Yeah. It's that voice.
The voice.
The will of Dana's astral energy.
Oh, now he's remembering this.
What? There's so much astral energy. But where's it all coming from? It's almost like it's alive.
Darkness.
That was the spirit channeling ceremony just now. No, it was more than that.
What the hell was that? It felt like everything was on the brink of... like the whole world was seconds from...
Oblivion. It's the same vision as the one my thorns show me. A vision of impenetrable darkness that swallows up us and everything else.
An empty void. A nothing so complete and dominating that there aren't even words to describe it. The end of time.
The visions of the apocalypse you've been seeing. If I'd known how bad they were,
So, everything we just saw, those were Naori's memories, right?
That's right. It was as if her innermost thoughts were speaking directly to us. At least I know they weren't mine.
That power flowing into her, it reminds me of Shion's thorns. If they're what's responsible for all these visions she's been having, then maybe...
Maybe my thorns are made from that same astral energy?
If that is the case, we just found the missing link between your thorns and what happened here 3 centuries ago. No, more than a link. Perhaps even the very heart of the matter.
I've never felt astral energy so powerful. What was that?
If it's the same energy your thorns are made of, it must be dark astral energy, right? And isn't that something only Renans have?
Correct. Dark astral energy is possessed by Renans alone.
And when enough astral energy gathers together, it develops its own form of sentience. If so, maybe that complete oblivion is exactly what the Renan astral energy's will is wishing for. But why?
I don't know. Will can be a pretty vague thing to nail down. It's more of a feeling, just like the will of Dana.
But the will of Dana is made up of astral energy too, right? And if that's what's been showing us these visions... I don't know, should we really be getting so involved with this thing?
Dana's will would never want oblivion.
But you can't say that for sure.
Cut it out, you two. Squabbling over theories will get us nowhere.
Let's keep moving. If it's Dana's will showing us these memories, then I'm as clueless about its motives as any one of us. But if it could lead us to the truth, then I want to find out more.
I hope there's no fighting.
Shion's
I know
right.
there's more of these
All we can
visions.
do is keep going.
So I don't want to go back.
These really are Naori's memories we're watching. There could be truths in them I was never aware of. And I think they may be the kinds of truths I need to confront if we're going to keep fighting.
I'm sorry about what I said earlier. Come on, let's go.
Finally, we begin to understand what the thorns are.
Yes, and their source. A ceremony that occurred 3 centuries ago.
But we still don't know how to get rid of them. I just hope we can find a way.
Damn, hope I didn't cut that out. I think it'd
Soon,
be that close.
we might very well learn the truth behind Shion's thorns, as well as my own past. I have to be ready to face anything. Whatever happens.
Turn back for the time being.
I just need a little time first.
Time being, turning away. I think we need a heal. I don't think there's a fast travel here. No, there's not. Might have to grind like a motherfucker down this again. And no really, why would it give me a fast travel for here? I have to go all the way through here again. I can fast travel here, but I can't do it here. Fucking hell.
That
Sorry, I'm
vision
pissed
we
off
saw.
about that.
It was as if it was meant specifically for us.
What do you make of it? Do you still think the will of Dana might be involved somehow?
Maybe it's trying to tell us something. But what?
Well, it could be supernatural. You know, like seeing dead people, messages from beyond the grave, ghost-type stuff.
That's your grand theory? That we're being haunted? Come on, Law.
Wait. He might be closer to the mark than you think. What if a person's thoughts and deeds were to somehow become indelibly etched into the ether of a place? And what if those with a connection could then somehow pick up on them?
You think that's what it was? Some kind of message someone left here for us?
I am merely entertaining the possibility. Whether it was Dana's will, or somehow connected to the Sovereign and Maiden's powers, I do not know.
Okay, back up a sec. You're saying that if a place is full of enough astral energy, it can somehow show us events that happened centuries ago?
More to the point, how does that much astral energy gather in one place anyway? Seems unlikely it happened naturally.
Whatever it was, it survived here intact for 300 years. Whoever left it for us, the strength of their intent is beyond doubt.
The strength of their intent.
I'm gonna go back. I don't care. I'm too weak. What's that? That.
Looks like we made it here in one piece.
What do you say we check back in on the ranch?
No, I should have made it. Do I need to? Oh. Fuck. Yeah, I'm gonna grind off stream. Doesn't seem like it's too hard. I've been leveling up quickly in these areas again. Earlier I was getting slow. Let's see, what time is it? It's 12:19. Refresh my page. Do I know on live? So maybe I'll do a bit of grinding before I sign off. A little content. Alright. I'll do some on the stream. It's funny, because it says there's one, but I can see, like, ran out of thoughts there. See everyone else who was talking earlier. It says there's one. Which is weird. But I still say lurker level. Still past the big giant guys.
Out of my way!
Oh.
Here I come! Rising Wyvern!
Well.
Here! This one's here I come! That's the shot! Does it! You're mine! Mirage! I'm not done! Rising Wyvern!
No one
easy and snaring to me. Yeah! And the following to me!
Here, let me help! Going in!
Take this! Throbs in pain. Can't get out of this!
Ah, sweet.
Rising Wyvern! You're mine! It's over!
If it's in the sky, it's
Burn hell!
Eagle fly! Magna Ray!
Mirage! Take this! Rising Wyvern! Start it!
Here!
Mirage! I'm not done! Rising Wyvern!
I don't even know the word defeat. That's
Start it! Mirage!
Tornado!
Take this! Take this! You're finished! You're mine! You're finished!
Do it! Glacial Spear! Here's evil!
You're mine! No further! New escape! Start up! Mirage! Rising Wyvern! I'm on it! New escape! Take this! Rising Wyvern! Start up! Do it!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! Rising up!
I felt better, that's for sure.
Man, we seem to be going up faster earlier. Oh, those guys aren't there. This guy's still here. The other man.
Backing down! Shield
Some other man. I wonder if you have to fight some guys in the way. Still right over way. Right. But these guys are still good.
Let's dispose of the trash.
You've got
Spear! Pierce evil!
And I missed that.
These fists have got your name on them! In a vine? Now you'll learn! Mirage! Strike!
So great of those other guys.
Stand back! I'll trip it out. It's over! Ignite! You're mine! Mirage! Here I come! Mirage! You're finished! Mirage! You're interrupted! Take this!
Will this end?
Rising Wyvern! Start up! Mirage! Here I come!
Alright.
Arch shield!
Here I come! The enemy wields arcs too.
We'll soon see about that!
Right, use your ability to There we go, come on.
We did it! Rising Wyvern!
Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Here, let me help. This one's
Rising
for you!
Wyvern! You're mine! Strike! Rising Wyvern! Eat dirt! You're mine!
Here,
Eagle Fly! Mirage! Dragon Form! Rising Wyvern! Here I come!
now I'm not
Rising Wyvern!
Major Rolling! This one's got your name on it!
Action to action!
Here's a healing guard!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Seriously? Seriously, that's it? So, most of those guys disappear once we fight them? You gotta be shitting me. Here I was thinking I could grind like a motherfucker on all these. Fuck. I should have gone after the big bug. One of them. Oh, these guys are staying here. They're my homies. These guys are good. Should have made it over here.
Seriously? Is this a joke?
Thanks, Shion.
Here I go!
Searing flame!
Ignite!
That'll bring you down.
You're mine! Slap!
Here's a healing arc. First aid!
No escape!
So much for that. Like all over now. Nowhere. I wonder if I got the one by the
On guard. Challenge 4. Hurricane
You're mine!
Hurricane!
Rising Wyvern!
I'm on it.
Mirage! Rising Wyvern!
Now I'm in trouble.
I'll crush you!
Lightning reflexes!
Tenebrous claw!
Here I come! You're mine!
Not my finest.
You'll pay for that! Here I come!
Fun.
Mirage! Stardust! I'm not done! The flame inside me yearns to be let free! You picked the wrong fight!
Can't be happening.
I'm not done! Stardust! Damn it!
No, I don't have a life bottle. I don't know how long I got.
You made me angry. That was a
Rising
bad
I've been
idea.
fine.
You're mine! It's over! You're
This
mine!
one's mine.
It's over!
Far enough.
Try harder! My turn! Stardust!
Anything in armor is all mine.
Hurricane strike!
I have to have these two swapped now.
Are we in over our heads?
Come on! It's not over till it's
Come on.
over.
You're right. We've made it.
Coming through! Ha!
He doesn't have the healing anymore.
Scarlet Inferno!
Benediction light.
Guardian field!
Take this!
All right, let me at him. Talon hurricane! Right up the dark!
Stardust!
All right, let me at him.
Mirage! Rising Wyvern!
Meanwhile, light burst forth.
Radiant Genesis!
Why is this
My
one so
turn.
hard?
This one's all mine!
Strike!
I owe you one!
Going in! Eat this!
Mirage! You're mine!
Hurricane strike!
Mirage!
I'm gone!
Can you take it?
Stardust!
Take this!
This one's mine!
Mirage!
Take this!
Should have done something that.
I don't have much left.
Going in!
You're mine!
Hurricane strike!
No further! Now you see what I can do!
You're mine!
Dance on the
Rising
wind!
Wyvern!
Make it rain!
Mirage!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
My exploits are bearing fruit.
Go ahead and give us enough healing fast. No, we'll go in there. We'll try it. We'll save before going in there. What's the worst that could fucking happen? I'm curious. For in the stream, hopefully not too like a big boss battle. It's just like, this.
Looks
Boss
like we
battle,
made it here in
right.
one piece.
No. Yeah, sure, why not? Can't make it. Boss fish, because I can't find boss fish. Well, I can, but I can't fish boss fish.
What do you think? Hopefully you all like it.
How is it just in my damn? It's just everything in the right spot. Now we just run in there because we can't do anything else, you know? Try to avoid everything. Oh, look. Run past these guys. We can't run past the one guy. Run past this one. This one makes me think we're supposed to fight him and end him. And then he wouldn't be there. Chosen wrong. On the, those guys I don't want to fight.
It'll be a breeze. Get in, get
Wow.
out. Last time to cross blades.
These guys.
Opponent like this should be easy.
Bring him down. That's where he does it. Laser spear. Let's cut our losses.
So much for talking it out.
Engaging.
Try to keep as much health as I can in case it is a boss fight. But he's fucking there. My shit. Okay. We're back. See what it brings. Okay. Now. Level 43. Who's close? A lot. Well. So, I mean, we could have ground up any out of 44, but ended me off stream, so I probably would have gotten it pretty quickly. But I'm curious to see what's over here before I end it, so hopefully it's not a let's get fucked boss moment, because I don't have the supplies for it at the time. They wasted it all in the previous fight.
Soon, we might very well learn that I have to be ready to face anything.
The only way
I'm
forward.
determined to save Xion and Dana. Nothing I learn can change that.
Let's go. See what the fuck happens.
Hold up, you guys.
What is it?
I want to look through that room over there. I'm curious what we'll find.
That's the room you visited in your past, right?
Forcing me here.
Sure. We can check it out.
That's why it's sovereigns only. This is the lab.
This looks like some kind of research facility.
A laboratory secreted away in the Forbidden Zone. Why am I past being surprised at this point?
Looks pretty deserted.
Let's check it out. It might give us a new lead.
So I should have just done this. Afraid. Alright,
For the people of Lenegis, the Forbidden Zone is the stuff of dreams. Yet here I am, standing within its hallowed halls.
It's off limits even for lords, then? Talk about an exclusive club.
Being exclusive is one thing, but how many important facilities let in only the Sovereign? Doesn't that seem a little strange?
Strange doesn't cover it. If it was only one room, maybe. But a place on this scale? How did they keep it from falling into ruin? Whoever the Sovereign is, they can't manage the upkeep of this whole place themselves.
Did no one ever talk about it when you were growing up?
No, not that I can remember. Then again, Sovereigns and Forbidden Zones weren't exactly breakfast table conversations.
The Forbidden Zone is a hallowed place, at one with the Sovereign's authority, grounds of the one true ruler who presides over all Renans. That is what we believed this place to be. No, what we were made to believe it was. But now, it is finally time to discover this area's true purpose, and why it was kept hidden behind the scenes for so long.
Computer.
I think I can make this work.
Well, can you make head or tail of it?
These are experiment records, by the looks of it. Reams of them, dating back hundreds of years. Let's see. A composite being capable of controlling Danon astral energy, so as to convert its molecular and elemental makeup. The creation of a governing central figure, taking the form of a Danon. Codename Sovereign.
Sovereign.
Wait, there's more. Research into utilizing force field crystals for the purpose of stable astral energy containment. That must be the Master Cores. With all this raw data, there's bound to be records here somewhere about the Maiden and the Lords, too.
About the Lords? Why would they be on there?
Think about it. The Lord's crests are clearly of a piece with those of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. Not to mention the fact that the contenders to the crown are selected from otherwise regular Renan citizens. In other words, it may be that all Renans are unwittingly being made subject to some kind of grand scheme.
What about the Sovereign? Does it say anything else?
Where do I start? All I've read so far is the headlines. There's so much here. To sift through all of it would require specialized... Wait.
What is it? Did you find something?
It's a list of names, with the title, Test Subjects, Sovereign. It's your call.
Read it.
There must be dozens of test subjects listed here. Hundreds even. All of them failures. Wait. I think I've found one that was successful. Test subject number 1273. Ethnicity, NA. Unique adjustment index, generation, NA. Given name, Alphen.
Yeah, you remember that a while ago, and now he's getting shocked.
They re-engineered me. Right here in this lab.
Alphen.
It's fine, really. What about the others? Was I the only one?
Test subject number 10105. Ethnicity, NA. Unique adjustment index, generation, NA. Given name, Volron.
That's convenient.
Volron? But that means...
He's only sovereign because someone made him that way too.
He's the last one. In 3 centuries worth of records, you and Volron are the only 2 subjects on whom the experiment was a success.
But what about the winners of the crown contests? Does this mean that none of them were ever crowned sovereign after all?
Upon victory, the Sovereign shall return to Rena and rule over Rena and Lenegis combined. When a new Sovereign is decided, the outgoing monarch shall relinquish their post and live out the rest of their days on Rena. So we were told. But according to these records, there have only ever been 2 Sovereigns, neither of whom had anything to do with the crown contest. It's all lies, including the part about the Sovereign residing in Rena. The crown contest was never about deciding a new ruler. It must always have been devised for some other purpose.
But even supposing that's true, someone must have been in charge for the past 3 centuries, right? If it wasn't the Sovereign, then who was it?
Crown contests have been held this whole time, in spite of the fact that there was already a Sovereign. Me. Meaning that for the past 300 years, someone out there has to have been maintaining that lie. The same person I'm willing to bet is behind all this.
The Red Woman?
It's possible. But that doesn't necessarily mean she's the mastermind behind this scheme. She could be working for someone else. Someone back on the Renan homeworld.
Either way, it's fair to say she's definitely involved somehow.
What about the data records? Is there no other information that could help us?
Not that I can see. Just file upon file of experiment results. There's nothing here about who's behind all this, or what their endgame is, unfortunately. I've barely managed to scratch the surface, mind you. You won't be able to read through it all, but you're welcome to take a look through what you can, while we're here.
I'll do that.
So this is where Alphen became the Sovereign. And Volron as well. The significance of this location would suggest...
Hey, it looks like the terminals in here turned on too.
We should look through them. They might contain valuable information.
Only two sovereigns
so it's fine. It made
in
me
over
think that there was no
300
turning
years.
back.
So why has the experiment only succeeded twice in all this time? And if that's the case, why keep on doing it? Was there really no other way? Or could there be some other reason?
Dohalim.
Forgive me.
Alphen.
I'm fine. I'm just a little shaken, that's all. I knew what I was already, so it's not like it's a surprise or anything. But it's strange. I've got all this rage inside of me, but I don't even know who it's for. I'm scared that I'll put a face to it, just to have someone to blame.
If that were to happen, then No. Then we'd help you fight it, before you ever got that far. Wouldn't we, everyone?
Yeah, we wouldn't just sit by and watch you spiral out of control.
That's right. No good can come from being consumed by hatred.
If you ever start to lose your way, you can count on us to guide you back. To remind you where home is.
And I would be happy to lend an attentive ear, should you ever have need.
Thank you, everyone. I think I'll be okay now.
Sovereign is Lenegis' central control device for the Spirit Channeling Ceremony. Each one is granted a level 2 authority on an ID crest. The added subject serves as the base of its creation. In theory, ideal candidates possess equal affinity for every astral element. However, such aptitude is statistically rare to uncover within real-world conditions. As a result, most subjects die during the adjustment period, and stability is still not guaranteed for those who survive it. This instability, coupled with the Sovereign's power of astral manipulation, pose a high risk to the security of Lenegis if left unchecked. As such, stabilization measures must be put in place via the support mechanism when utilizing the Sovereign and Spirit Channeling Ceremony. Addendum 1. No effective alternative methods to perform the ceremony have been found. Trials on Danon subjects are authorized to continue. Addendum 2. Unit 2 adjustments are a success. Subsequent adjustments are put on hold while extended observation takes place. The Maiden. The Maiden acts as a sovereign support mechanism for the spiritual channeling ceremony. Each one is granted level 2 authority and an ID crest. A Ren subject serves its functions, providing the sovereign with supplemental dark astral it lacks in tandem with the Renus Alma. During the ceremony, it's partly responsible for astral energy conversion as well as maintaining stability over the sovereign's own powers. Additionally, the degree of intimacy between it and the sovereign has been observed to positively impact the level of stability of both subjects. Because of this, trial activations of the sovereign without the maiden present are extremely forbidden. Furthermore, neither the sovereign nor the maiden are to be informed about the details of the spirit channeling plan. Addendum 1. Mental instability in the maiden has been deemed the cause of the past sovereign's rampancy. Countermeasures must be considered. That'd be Alphen and Nagori. Addendum 2. In line with the plan's adjustments, the current subject will have its maiden registration revoked and be returned to its original household. My ear itches. This is Moses giving us for stuff. Lords. Each crown contest, 5 of the best qualified members of Renan populace are chosen to act as lords, vying to serve as the next sovereign. During their tenure, they are granted level 3 authority, as well as one of 5 elemental realms to administer, and its corresponding Master Core. They are also assigned ID crests indicating their designated element. The selection process is based only on astral artistry and physical mental aptitude. Other variables such as age have no bearing whatsoever. Because only the strongest go on to become lords, position itself does not inherently make an individual any stronger. It should be noted, however, that lords are not the only individuals capable of drawing out a Master Core's power. All Renans must take part in the selection process, and acceptance of the position is mandatory. It is not allowed for those deemed suitable to decline. Furthermore, in event that an acting lord is incapacitated and can no longer serve their position, a replacement must be quickly prepared. Unique Adjustment Index Test Subject. The following report on the second successful case of Sovereign Test Subject experimentation. Test Subject number 10105, given name of Volron, Generation NA, Unique Adjustment and Ethnicity NA. Although the subject possesses high latent potential, it exhibits significant mental instability along with a strong distaste for following orders. That's why he's mad. As such, the risk it poses surpass even those of the last successful subject, itself a failure, and is therefore under consideration for disposal. Addendum. This is the first successful case in 300 years. Previously mentioned risk factors are now negated due to established control protocols. Subject is to be evaluated under the assumption that Plan 2 will proceed and will be dispatched to Dana under the guise serving as a lord. Master Cores. Master Cores are instruments of power containing astral energy that belongs to one of the 6 elements. 5 of these Master Cores, those with Earth's water, fire, wind, and light, are loaned to Renan Lords in the time of Crown Contest. Only the Dark Master Core is maintained inside the Forbidden Zone until the Renus Alma is ready to be reformed. Its existence is kept top secret. Underneath the Master Core's spherical outer layer is a force field crystal used for the purpose of astral energy containment and stabilization. Inside the force field, astral energy is stored in a dormant state. For the duration of their tenure, each lord competes in the crown contest to amass their allotted type of astral energy. In the event of emergency, each lord may be allowed to withdraw from their respective stock of astral energy as necessary. However, the extent allowed is determined based on their own individual strength. Addendum 1. Design flaws have been discovered on how Renus Alma materializes. Be advised that active Master Cores may resonate with other Master Cores located in close proximity and become unstable. Addendum 2. Due to successful regeneration of Renus Alma, Master Cores will cease to be deployed and the crown contest will be permanently halted. Hold on, making sure my... Oh yeah, my mic is definitely being read. Spirit Cores. Spirit Cores are end terminals used for the collection of astral energy. When embedded in a biological subject, it establishes connections throughout its body. These connections are used to amass astral energy generated from physical activity, which is then emitted from the host body itself. Because this emitted energy is prone to diffuse, the host must be placed within range of a spirit vessel for the energy to be collected. This means Danans must be employed to harvest the astral energy for the purpose of the crown contest. Given the difficulty in producing them, it is advised that spirit cores be retrieved from host bodies and reused upon death. Spirit cores can be imbued in Zugals to control them via astral arts. Addendum. Increased physical load on a host body tends to produce increased astral energy emissions. Final confirmation. of ideal workload to impose on host bodies without inducing death for maximum astral energy yields is still pending. Lenegis. Large-scale astral energy converter that primarily converts the elemental composition of Dana as astral energy and transmits it to Rena. Activation control of astral energy conversion is achieved by placing the Sovereign, Maiden, and Rena's Alma within the central core of Lenegis. That shows that the one guy is still alive. And Reveille's probably his Maiden. It is comprised of classified and essential personnel reside in zones around large conduit along with a defensive layer surrounding them. This outer layer is deployed upon activation, unlocking the central conduit while simultaneously functioning as the stabilization mechanism. Due to its design, deployment of the outer layer is expected to cause damage to residential zones. However, because that only takes place during the final stage of the Spirit Challenge ceremony, no contingency plan to address said damage is needed. Till that phase, Lenegis serves as a central base of operations for the management and execution of Crown contests on Dana. Warning: any personnel with level 3 authority or lower is strictly forbidden from the classified zone. Any violators will be immediately executed. Alright, we're all gonna die. Detachable Harvester. Massive spirit vessel placed on Dana for the Spirit Channeling ceremony. It serves as the tip of Lenegis conduit from which it separates. Upon landing in Danan waters, extends 2 sets of conducting pathways. Vertical pathways connect to the center of Dana. Meanwhile, horizontal pathways proceed to envelop the entire surface of Dana. Once activated, it links the biological spirit vessels placed in each realm, efficiently harvesting the planet's astral energy en masse. Accumulated energy is then transmitted to Rena via Lenegis. Because the construction and adjustment take place in the Forbidden Zone's regulated area, Lenegis' outer layer must be deployed prior to launch. Intended to function semi-autonomously, only maintenance personnel are expected to manually interface with it when necessary. No other personnel is required for it to function. Addendum 1. Detachable Harvester 1 was lost on Dana after exploding due to the rampancy exhibited by the Sovereign. So that was Elfin. Addendum 2. Detachable Harvester's 2 landing point will remain the same as that of the previous model. This is due to the explosion of the previous model, which altered the planetary topography, enabling an easier connection to the center of Dana. Sedative Mask. A device covering the wearer's whole face that restricts their mental activity. It was developed for the purpose of pacifying prisoners. Medical applications are also recognized, particularly as a means of preventing patients from sustaining mental trauma. However, doing so is not recommended, as prolonged use of the device carries the risk of inducing a number of adverse side effects. Addendum. Due to loss of production facilities incurred from the partial destruction of Lenegis, additional devices will no longer be manufactured. Brainwashing report. After receiving reports of a robust new form of rule emerging in Dana's water realm, study was commissioned to investigate the matter in depth. This system is unique in that it elevates only the Lord as the supreme authority while relegating both Renans and Danans alike to enslavement. So they're all slaves, like they were figuring out. Test subject number 10105 serves as the realm's current lord and has achieved this without the use of any special powers, drugs, or special devices. Rather, it has done so by sheer governance. Given this method's effectiveness at population control, monitoring of the situation will continue. Addendum 1. Collapse of cognitive facilities via extreme mental depression rooted in violence and fear has proven to be key to the style of rule. Once a subject loses its autonomy, they become desensitized to fear and subsequently cease to prioritize even their own personal safety. Though such state is ill-suited for commanding officers, it remains an effective way to cultivate disposable infantry and slaves for manual labor. Addendum 2. Soldiers in Lenegis who have undergone this treatment will be asked to secure classified sectors as a trial. The results will be monitored. Dude. Anything over here? Yep. So there's that. There's that. Showing Lenegis structures, you can see pipes for transporting natural energies sticking out of them. Showing the room's equipment hasn't been used in a long time. Notice this area will now be shut down as the project proceeds to the final phase. It's equipment for storing human bodies, whether it be held living or dead one, they're all empty now. Why is that one specifically? Here. Operating table. Many subjects undoubtedly never came back alive from their operations on this. No? That way and this way. This room, I remember this one. The flashback. See, last time it looks like logs of alignment between subjects and Lenegis proper. Equipment for monitoring subjects. It probably had a failure disposable mechanism as well. Notice, this area will now be shut down as the project proceeds to the final phase. Room unchanged over 3 centuries. It's like time itself has stopped here. Ah, nice. Safe. Visions. I don't know, I was remembering the person when he was in the mask.
Naori, I...
Don't talk. I have to do this. I gave you my word that I'd help you return to Dana. The next time you open your eyes, you'll be home.
But you...
My place is here with my people. I still have a duty to fulfill. I'm sorry for what you've endured. Rena never should have dragged you into this. It's not your burden to bear.
But...
The mask contains a sedative. It should keep your mind from tearing itself apart any further. Let yourself go to sleep. This should help with the pain. Time to go, Elfin. Farewell. His injuries are worse than I thought. Short-term treatment isn't going to cut it. I'll have to switch the healing pod to long-term hibernation mode. The chance of surviving hibernation's less than 10%? And worse, long-term use of the mask carries a high risk of damaging his mind and nervous system. But... If I don't head back, Lenegis will be nothing but ashes. And this starship along with it. I don't know if I can fulfill my promise to you, Alphen. But if doing this will grant you even the slightest chance, I have to try. I hope it's enough. Please, live for me, Alphen.
That vision. It must have been from when Naori helped Alphen escape Lenegis.
She sure went above and beyond the call of duty.
Even with Lenegis crumbling down around her, she chose to stay put with her people.
So that's why you lost your memories and sense of pain, and why you were asleep for that whole time. It was all the result of one agonizing decision Naori made to save your life.
Yeah. If it weren't for her, I wouldn't even be alive today. I owe her everything. More than I could ever hope to repay.
Now that you know how she felt, how do you plan on honoring her wishes?
She kept her promise. If the Renan people she fought so desperately to protect are at risk from a malevolent force, then I owe it to her to carry on her fight. Naori was the one who put that mask on me, and made me Iron Mask.
She did it to prevent your soul from tearing itself apart. She knew you might lose your memories and sense of pain as a result. But more than anything, she wanted you to survive. And you did.
Rooms of its own Holy
This
crap.
place. We've seen this in one of Naori's memories.
Of course. After 300 years, this is where it was held. The spirit channeling ceremony. This is where the Renaissance was.
So this is the place where you and Naori...
The Renaissance isn't here now. Nor is the Red Woman, it seems.
I know it's difficult, Alphen, but there will be time to dwell on the past later. For now, we need to keep moving. Come on.
Naori.
What is this? Is it the work of Dana's will again?
Everybody's seen this.
It's been a year since the ceremony. That day, I shut away inside of myself the power that caused Alphen to lose control. Since then, my visions of the future have grown more and more fearsome.
Is this another memory? No, it's different this time. It's like she's speaking directly to us.
What we did back then. Not so much as a day passes when I don't think about it. About what was done to us. All in the name of a ceremony. The purpose of which we were never even told. As Sovereign, they linked Elfin's consciousness to Lenegis itself. The Renis Alma was intended to control his power, lest anything should slip through its cracks. That day, as Maiden, my role was to temper his power. I was meant to guide it forth, and give shape to the strength inside of him.
Linked to Lenegis itself? But then, everything that's been happening.
But that power showed me a vision. A vision of oblivion. When I realized that vision was a prophecy of the apocalypse we were about to unleash, I couldn't go through with it. But without a maiden, the ceremony was doomed. Alphen lashed out, his consciousness no longer his own. I did what I could. Using my abilities as the maiden, I tried to seal that power away inside of me. But it was too late. Lenegis had already been brought to its knees. Thousands upon thousands of lives so cruelly snuffed out. All because of me. Because of what I had done. With the destructive force now slumbering inside of me, I knew I had to find a way to dispose of it. Anything to make up for my failure. But I didn't know how. Especially since that power was astral energy itself. In which case, ironically enough, the Renis Alma seemed to be my best bet. That, at least, would hold the astral energy dormant. Assuming that no malevolent third party got to it first. With the Sovereign and Maiden's combined power, perhaps I could shift the chaotic energy inside me into the Renis Alma instead. That's what I hoped, but alas, it was not to be. The Renis Alma was lost, and Alphen the Sovereign was in a starship bound for Dana. My only choice was to seal away the destructive force inside of me using my powers as the Maiden, to buy the world what little time I could. The time needed for a new Renis Alma to be crafted, and for a new Sovereign to appear. Even if by doing so, it meant I would be passing the curse onto my descendants as well. Please, forgive me. I never meant to burden the future world with this threat too. I only wish that there was something more I could have done.
Wait, you can't just...
Naori.
That message just now, was it directly from Naori? Or was it the Danan voice speaking through her?
Magical. Look at Shion Naori's outfit and hairstyle.
What?
These are the clothes that Naori and I wore during the ceremony 3 centuries ago.
So you're saying this is the Maiden's outfit?
That's right. These clothes
It's
are
for her
designed to
longer
resonate
hair.
with the Sovereign and Maiden's abilities. They focus and enhance them.
And they appeared now because...
Naori must have left them here for the new Sovereign and Maiden, knowing the day would come when they would need them in their fight against the Thorns.
These outfits are directly linked to the answers we've been chasing this whole time. If they're here, it must mean it was Naori's will for us to find those answers as well.
Locating the Renis Alma would allow us to neutralize the dark astral energy inside Shion, thereby silencing her thorns. Is that what Naori's suggesting?
It makes sense.
Lab is
After all,
loud.
master cores and spirit vessels are both able to prevent the astral energy inside them from developing sentience. By that logic, it would stand to reason that the Renis Alma would have the same ability on a larger scale.
We have a maiden in Sovereign. Now all we need is the Renis Alma, and we'll finally be able to free you of your thorns. Shion.
It's possible? You really think so?
I do. We can rid you of your thorns and stop the world from falling to oblivion.
That magic you know is using pretty cutter.
However, the spirit channeling ceremony already failed once. Even if our goal is different this time, we can't be sure the same thing won't happen again. We should take care not to be too optimistic.
You're right. It's the barest sliver of a chance. But if there's even the slightest hope it can work, I'm willing to stake everything I've got on it.
I know it's too early to let myself feel relieved, but I just can't seem to help it. Just hearing there's the slightest chance, even though I know the world's still in great peril. It's selfish of me, I know, but still.
No, it isn't. You found hope to believe in. It'd be strange if you weren't over the moon about it.
Rinwell's right. We can rid you of your curse and still save the world at the same time.
Thank you. Naori entrusted us with the fate of all humanity. Now, it's up to us to prove that trust was well placed.
Starting with a little game called Hunt the Renis Alma.
Yeah, we've come all this way. Now we just need to search Lenegis and Rena until we find it.
Yeah, we can protect the world and save Shion at the same time.
I too shall lend my services. My knowledge of Renan lore is bound to be a useful asset.
And they say modesty is dead.
Miracles just seem to follow wherever you go, huh?
How do you know it's me they're following? We're all in this together, Shion. You included. Now let's get moving, shall we? Last I heard, we had an apocalypse to stop. Thank you, Naori. So Naori sealed away the power that made me lose control of myself. She stopped my rampage and saved my life. But then, that power she'd sealed away was passed down to you. I'm so sorry, Shion. It's my fault that you're cursed.
You're wrong. What happened to you was because of the ceremony, and Naori's attempt to stop Oblivion. You paid a heavy price for it, and then fell asleep for 300 years. The reason you lost your memories
is the reason for your curse.
The thorns.
It all leads back to them.
Yeah.
But once they're gone, we can finally put an end to all this.
When my thorns are gone, I never dared to dream that such a thing could be possible. No, the truth is, I think maybe I've always been dreaming about a life without my thorns. The touch of my family, or playing with my friends, holding hands with Rinwell, or giving Law a deserved smack, embracing everyone. All the normal things that people do together. I always wished I could experience them for myself, and finally know what they were like. Is it really okay for me to believe it can happen? I'm so scared of getting my hopes up. What if it doesn't work out in the end, and...
That's not going to happen. I'm here to make sure it won't. Forget fate or destiny or anything else. We're going to live a normal life. There are a lot of things you still want to do, right?
Yeah. You're right. It's such a strange feeling. I know that we've still got plenty of fighting up ahead. And it's for my sake. So I can live.
You're worth fighting for.
I believe you, Alphen.
Good. I'll keep on fighting. For as long as it takes. Until our future is finally in our hands.
Latest made it. Ultimate ingredient, whatever that is. Mystic Crest. Place. Atonement Edge. Defeated all lights that emerged from the wedge. Sounds like something later. Fucking crag. I'll have to do the thing. I gotta find the fucking boss fish. Figure out a fish because I suck at it. Fish just see me. Novice ones, advanced ones. It sucks to catch up. Can't like unlock half her stuff unless I do fishing. Get a lot of things upgrade. Bounty. That is. Spell from that one. I don't know what his is for the Owl Sanctuary. That one is. Grilled Rupeg. We'll have to find that because I have some Rupeg. Serve nature. That is. Everyone has to go through the nose, so. Cool. Ah. There we go. Yeah, he has farmer clothes too. Does everyone have farmer? Oh, yeah, everyone has farmer clothes. Eh. So everyone got the strong hat, I thought. Sorry. I just like her ponytail a bit more. That one's blue, so it works. That must have been what it sounds like. Really, these two don't have anything. Yeah, I prefer her with the long hair. She didn't get her own special gun for this. Interesting. Oh yeah, magic underneath my feet. Alright. Let's do this.
Sounds like this Naori chick had quite the big heart.
Her position demanded nothing less. From the sound of things, she didn't focus on differences, least of all those between Renans and Danans.
Yeah. It was Naori who first showed me that such a thing was even possible. And then she saved my life by sending me back home to Dana.
Not only that, but she willingly stayed behind on Lenegis for the sake of her people. It sounds like she was quite the hero, all right. A truly caring person.
It's as if walls meant nothing to her. The ones separating the Renans from the Danans, or herself from others. She had no need for them.
Which basically meant that she never had
You don't
anything
like
to
the
break down in
flower
the first
thing?
place, huh?
I prefer
Yeah.
the long hair.
I think you may be right about that.
You inherited that legacy. Her wish for the world.
Don't I know it?
She's kind of like a lodestar guiding our way, showing us what we can aspire to.
Yeah, that one had the long hair. I'm choosing it. Alright, now here. Anything else outside of here? Oh. Nope, looks like I can't grind in between streams again, so that's fine. We'll be okay, I guess. Yeah. Let's see, who is there? I'll do it just a color raid. You have to type in raid first, dumbass. Alright, there we go. Get in that raid. He's pretty cool. Do it, get in. Bye everybody, guys. Pack Cyber signing off. Goodbye.